Hey, what's going on, guys? IX2 Prodigy 2XI finally bringing you the last two installments of the First Strike kind of first look mini series thing that I started the day after the map pack came out. I know it's been out for a little while now, about a week or so, a little over a week. I was a little under the weather and a little bit lazy, to be quite honest, but I don't want to leave it unfinished. So I'm going to finish it up anyway, even though I'm sure pretty much everybody by now probably has the map pack and has played the DLC maps probably quite a bit. I've played them quite a bit. So in essence, maybe I have a little bit more knowledge to speak of as far as the gameplays go, even though, as you guys know, the premise of this was to put up my first match on each of the new maps, no matter how crappy or good or whatever I did, just to see how it goes. And I do go positive on all four. I've got the first two up already, so you guys have probably already seen that. I do go positive in this one. I think I go like 28 and 18 or 19, which once again isn't great, but it's positive and that's good. The first two I also did team deathmatch, and the second two I decided to go with some domination just to kind of switch it up a little bit. In hindsight, might have been a bad idea because it seems like these domination matches were a tad bit long, but whatever, that'll give me time to just sit here and babble and ramble on about things that don't really matter. What I've seen so far out of all the maps, I believe this one right here, Kowloon, is my most hated. I like Discovery, I like Berlin Wall, I like Stadium. It just seems like Kowloon is basically like cracked on crack. In this game, not so much. Just to show you guys, obviously, that I don't know the maps, I just fell off. That was a fail of epic proportions, but that proves that I have no clue what I'm doing on this map. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. This map has basically turned out to be essentially a camp fest. Every time I play it, I'm just dreading the fact that I'm on this map because I just know that everybody's gonna hide the whole game, and it's just really frustrating because, as you guys know, my playstyle is more of a rush, runner, gunner kind of guy, and the fact that I have to go out and try and find guys that are camping in corners or camping up on rooftops and whatever, and everybody's running ghosts, it's just, I don't know, it's just so ridiculous, and it makes for a very boring gameplay. And not only boring to post, but boring to play. I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, even the campers, I think, have to know that it's boring to camp. I mean, it just makes the games last forever, and, you know, like I get into a free-for-all, and it's 8 people, and the time runs out because everybody's hiding the whole game. You know, and it's just really aggravating and frustrating, but you cannot make people play any kind of a way or whatever. They're just going to do what they're going to do, and I guess you have to deal with it. It just seems as though this map, unfortunately, was designed to kind of encourage camping because there's so many nooks and crannies and buildings and windows and rooftops and places to just sit and kind of overlook like really big pieces of the map, so you can literally just kind of kick back and just shoot at people from long distances. What you couldn't see there is, if you know this map well enough, from where I was, up to the right, there's this big area. You could just climb up this really huge ladder, and there's this little ledge that you can literally just kind of hang out on for a really long time. This is really funny. I stick this guy, but I get an assist because somebody killed him before the bomb went off. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, and you can literally just sit and see pretty much one side of the whole map, and you're really hard to get to, even with a grenade, or let alone bullets. You know, and you can kind of go prone and hide, and then they definitely can't shoot at you. It's actually right here to my left. And now it's above me. But anyway, Like I said, I'm sure you guys all know that by now. And it just seems as though this map looked so promising and looked so cool. Out of all the maps, I think the ambience and the colors and the fact that there's rain and stuff I thought it was the coolest map out of all of them as far as design and everything goes. But it turns out that this map basically is the worst one to play, which is really kind of disappointing and sad, but you know, I guess what are you gonna do? As far as Berlin Wall goes, that's probably one of my favorites. There are some camping spots, but it doesn't seem to be that there's too many, and they're relatively easy to get to the campers. There's lines of sight to them and things like that, so I am a fan of Berlin Wall. There are a lot of people that don't like it for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but you know, that's their choice. I do like Stadium. Once again, Stadium, there are some camping spots, but it's not too bad, and I don't really notice too many people camping too much on that map. And as far as Discovery goes, I like Discovery. I think it's a little bit large. It kind of reminds me of Array in a way, but it's a little better. Array to me is just entirely too big, and the spawn points are just out of control. I mean, you know, you die and you spawn, it takes you like 10 minutes to run to where the enemies are, and then, you know, you get killed by a camper, and then you spawn all the way back, you gotta run another 20 minutes. You spend most of your time running in that map, and it's just kind of boring. So as with Discovery, it's a little bit similar to Array in that fact that it's very big, but it's kind of more in like a straight line. Like there's one side, there's the other side, and you got, you know, about 3 kind of long paths. There's the left side, middle, and right, you know, depending. It doesn't really matter what side of the map you're on. Of course, it would be opposites, but essentially there's like 3 kind of long paths to run, and there's little areas you can kind of go around in and stuff. But so out of the 4 maps, I would probably say it's a toss-up as far as my favorite goes between Berlin Wall and Stadium. I think maybe Berlin Wall just a little bit, because it seems that everybody's so in love with Stadium that I've played it so much that it's actually kind of already getting old. It seems like it's kind of the nuke town of the DLC. It's, as soon as it comes up, everybody just wants to play it. So I'm probably going to have to say Berlin Wall is more my favorite because it doesn't get picked quite as often. And I do like that map, so I guess I'll put that in first place just by a little bit, just because I don't get to play it as much as I'd like, maybe. Kowloon, of course, taking 4th. If there was actually a way that I could make it 5th or 6th, it would be there. But since there's only 4 maps, I guess it, by default, can only take 4th place. And I guess then Discovery would be 3rd. But all in all, I believe it was a good purchase. The original maps that came with it were just getting entirely too boring, and I was getting to the point where I didn't even like to play anymore because it was just the same stuff over and over and over and over again. And it's still very disappointing to me when Nuketown comes up that, you know, 7 of the 8 people in the lobby vote for it. I just cannot stand that map anymore. It's entirely too crazy. Whether it's free-for-all or team deathmatch or whatever, it's just entirely too nuts. Getting people spawning behind you constantly, it's a complete war zone from the time the game starts to the time the game ends. It's just a hail of bullets constantly just whizzing by you, no matter, like, as soon as you spawn, you're basically getting shot at. And it's just, you don't have time to breathe or anything. I just can't stand it. And as a matter of fact, I think, especially when I'm playing free-for-all, since I'm by myself, anytime Nuketown comes up, if it gets picked, I just back out. I don't want to deal with it. I usually do win anyway, but it's like a 30 and 28 game, you know? It's just so crazy. It's hard for me to build up kill streaks. Now, I've seen a lot of the other, you know, big YouTube commentators play on it and stuff, and they're going like 30-4 or whatever, but I have a very strong feeling that that's kind of a rare occurrence. It doesn't happen quite often where they do quite so well. I'm not saying that they're not good. I'm just saying that, sometimes it seems as though no matter how good your registration is, how good you're playing, that you get the worst spawns. And in my opinion, pretty much the people that win that game are the ones getting the best spawns. When they're spawning in the house by themselves or all the way in the back of the backyards, like in the what I call the gardens. Those are the people that generally, when they're getting those spawns, are the ones that do the best, because they don't immediately have someone shooting at them as soon as they spawn. I played it the other day just because I think I lost my fucking mind, and I decided to play, and I literally spawned into a napalm strike that had already dropped, and that's just insane. So anyway, I know I didn't talk about the gameplay very much at all, other than the little failures here and there, but there wasn't really anything exciting to talk about anyway, as you could see. I just wanted to finish this little mini-series, 24 and 18, still positive, not great, doesn't matter. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Regardless, this has been IX2 Prodigy 2XI from the Chaos Crew, reminding you as always to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my sight.